Hetepu. This is Aset Sekhmet, your esoteric numerologist. Hetepu in ancient Egyptian means peace be unto you. I wish it for you, not only for this month, but for the rest of the year, wishing you divine favor, prosperity, and happiness in all aspects of your life. This video is about the esoteric month of January, and the esoteric month number is 7. As a numerologist, we use the universal year of 2013 by adding 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 3 equals 6. The first month would be 1. 6 plus 1 is 7, and this is how we obtain the esoteric number of this month. And so, what is 7? 7 on the positive side represents the heptad. 7 is your mental and spiritual archaeologist. It's also your mystic genius. This is a number that represents the intellectual. So on the spiritual side, it is a sacred number of the ancients. It is said in Christianity that God rested on the 7th day, and that one of God's Hebrew names is Jehovah, which has 7 letters. In Revelation, you have the 7 stars that also pertain to the 7 lamps, which also represents the 7 churches. But 7 is more spiritual than that. They're just spiritual in a non-religious way, which means that they're not going to be hemmed into any particular religious order or religion. They will take the great wisdoms that all the religions have to offer, and they will integrate them. So 7 is non-restrictive in its thinking. 7 is a very occult number because it wants those things that are secret, those things that are hidden. And it loves to dwell in the realm of the myth and the ritual and magic. So this is your 7 on the spiritual side. Intellectually, they are geniuses. They're innate geniuses. These people, or this energy, is one given to a lot of analytical research. It is investigative, and it will leave no stone unturned in trying to find its truth. These are people who will go to bed at night with things on their mind, trying to sort things out. So 7 is just as intellectual as 5. 7 is an out-of-box thinker. There's nothing superficial about a 7, so when you engage a 7, you're engaging their intelligence. And it's best to have some meat on the table when you engage a 7. 7 likes to have its mind fed because it's a very mental number. You will attract it by your intelligence. 7 is also a reclusive number. It's given to seclusion. It's known as a loner. It will have its guard up. It's not a very affectionate number that you can just come and embrace. No, 7 is not like that. 7 has to be alone in order for it to download the higher spiritual and cosmological truth that it is so searching for. So this is 7 on the positive side in a nutshell. The opposite, or the negative side of 7, is dealing with deception and deceit. It is dealing with illusions. It is also dealing with skepticism and being pessimistic, and also very critical, highly analytical. So it also deals with being unfaithful. So this is your opposite side of the number 7. I'm now going to go forward and talk about the 7th chakra, because this is a part of our spirituality. The 7th chakra is known as the crown chakra. In ancient Egyptian, it was called the Ik-Eritu, which is spelled I-K-H. In East Indian, it's called the Sahasrara, which is the chakra of pure consciousness that relates to your enlightenment, it relates to your intuitive knowing, and it relates to spirituality. So I'm going to say that this particular chakra owns the color of purple and white, and it's also related to the gemstones of the amethyst and the quartz crystal. I'm now going to talk about the 7th tarot. The 7th tarot in the major arcana, or known as the higher secrets, is dealing with the charioteer. And the charioteer with the number 7 is using the energy to examine, to focus, and to bring alignment. The vehicle, or the chariot, is really the personality vehicle of the inner self. It is interesting to note that the background of the canopy in which the charioteer is in has the cosmos. It's lined with stars. On his vestment you'll see 2 crescent moons, and it represents the astrological sign of Cancer, which is in the 7th month of July. You will also find that at the front of that chariot are 2 unharnessed sphinx. One is white, which relates to the concept of mercy. The other one is black, which deals with severity. So it's dealing with the ability to bring balance and integration to duality. And speaking of duality, we're going to go back to the sign of Cancer, which this card represents, and the emotional lunar aspect of the energy of 7, because the symbol of Cancer is 6-9. And it's dealing with that yin-yang energy. So here again, it is dealing with decisions that one must make to integrate, to prepare, to have foresight, especially if you're going to engage in a battle. How to wisely choose the battles that you might engage in, how to sit back and glean from your higher mind or your higher self your best and highest decisions that may lead to self-mastery, which is what this card is about. This card is also known as a card of triumph, the card of victory, because anything dealing with victory outside deals with the victory of the mental aspect of yourself. I'm going to move on to the 7th planet. The 7th planet is Uranus, and Uranus is the master number energy in actual words of 22, which is that of the architect and the builder. What's interesting is number 4 is also the 4th astrological sign of Cancer, from which the tarot card we were just mentioning. So I'm just showing how all of this ties in, because being an architect, you have to be original. Uranus is that. It's unique, it's innovative, it's eccentric, it's unconventional, and it's nonconformist. It's also over that humanitarian sign, Aquarius. And so this is your 7 metaphysical examination of this number. But I'm going to apply it to things that we deal with in everyday life, like our finances. Maybe I should start with the fiscal cliff. Now, it was said that you go over the fiscal cliff on December 31st, which Congress did. They went 2 hours over that. But they made a Band-Aid deal, and they came out with smiles on their face to allay people's fears. But anytime you go over a deadline and you make quick decisions, those decisions are not going to be in our best and highest good. So expect to see some issues coming from the GOP, from the Republicans, when they unveil many secrets and things that have not been shared with us as the American public. And so 7 is not a money number. 7 is a quiet number, and that means it's a time to examine your investments, your stock portfolios. It's a time to look at your 401ks, look at your health plans and your insurance policies, any of those things dealing with money. This is the beginning of the year, so it's time to really step back and look at how all of this is working in your best interest. So, dealing with health, the actual word is heart, which is number 25. 2 plus 5 is 7. And so this is dealing with the more emotional side of the aspect of 7. How do you feel about your job? Do you have passion for the type of things that you want to do? Are you doing them? Are you in the right career? Is this career that you're in, is it stressing you? Are you having heart pains that might lead to stroke or that might lead to heart attack? These are the questions that you need to ask concerning your heart. And concerning your heart, let's talk about relationships in the number 7. This is a universal year of 6. And so it will deal with relationships. It will deal with sexuality. It will deal with childbirth. It will deal with community. And so when you're dealing with your heart, with this number 7, you must ask yourself, are you in the best relationship? Does it make you happy? Is this person feeding you spiritually and mentally? And if not, are you going to go within yourself and see how it can be fixed? Are you going to seek counseling? 7 is the number of the analytical psychologist. And so you might want to consider some type of advice, counseling, or therapy. Also, dealing with politics, we're dealing with the number 7. It can be deceptive. So some things might not seem as they are. And so I'm going to round this segment up. And since this is the beginning of the year, as a numerologist, it's good to have a blueprint of what you can expect each month from this year. So I invite you to consult with me, Asad Sekmet, so that I can help you understand more of your future, and you can use the signs of numerology for your best benefit and your highest good. Please visit me at spiritwisdomnumerology.com, and you may also email me at asadsekmet@gmail.com. Looking forward to hearing from you. Enjoy a great year. Hetepu.